Fuck, what time is it? Oh, I gotta complain. Alright, I've had this bone to pick since the launch of Modern Warfare. There is no reason that Modern Warfare can't have an FOV slider on console. For a couple of reasons here. The first one is obviously that the game also released on PC, and unless they completely remade the game for PC, there's an FOV slider in the code somewhere. The next reason is obviously that everybody else is doing it. Like, honest to God, even on the original Xbox One, you can change the FOV in games like Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2, Doom 2016. They didn't cause graphical glitches and massive frame rate drops or anything like that. And even if they did, you have a dynamic resolution on your game, Infinity Ward, so Modern Warfare doesn't run at 4K or 1080p. It bounces between different resolutions according to load, so essentially if the game is really under a lot of intense strain, then it'll lower the resolution to keep the frame rate, which is good in a competitive shooter. So even if increasing the FOV drastically hurt performance, the game would also just dynamically drop its resolution a little bit so that basically it saves your frames. Also, I'm pretty sure out of all of the major battle royales, Warzone is the only one without an FOV slider on console. I'm pretty sure Fortnite, PUBG, and Apex Legends allow you to change that. And this is to say nothing about the next-gen consoles, or the current-gen consoles now, the Xbox Series X and PS5. You know, you can download high-resolution textures, okay, that's an option. You can run the game at 120 FPS on an Xbox Series X. So you're telling me that Warzone on my console can run at 120 FPS, but I can't increase my FOV to 90. This makes going back to Modern Warfare feel very, very awkward, and I almost feel like that's by design. So that if you go to Cold War and you play a game at, dynamic 4K, 60 FPS with a 95, 100 FOV, and then you go back to Modern Warfare because maybe you want to, play that some more, it just feels cramped and slower by comparison. Especially when the Halo games, all of the Halo games allow you to change your FOV on both PC and console now. So I can play Halo Reach with 100 FOV, but I cannot play Modern Warfare 2019 with 100 FOV. I'd have to go buy the PC version that's never on sale and is simply advertised as Warzone now. Keyboard and mouse is inarguably better than controller. Controller really just has comfort going for it. So when I fight a PC player in Modern Warfare from my Xbox, not only am I fighting a keyboard and mouse, potentially better monitors, I could be fighting somebody with a curved ultra-wide at 144 frames per second, with a really good mouse and keyboard and a large mouse pad with a low DPI. I have to fight that dude, okay? I have to fight Shroud and his gaming setup, and on top of that, he can see more of his surroundings than I can. Like, people think aim assist is bad. I'm sorry, I really have trouble hearing complaints about aim assist from PC players when they're playing with mice, keyboards, 27-inch curved monitors, ultra-wide curved monitors, 144 frames per second. You can increase your FOV, and console players can't. Console players get rotation and slowdown. Congratulations. You know what? I guess all of their kills are from some sort of aimbot or software advantage. You don't have any advantages on your end. How do you release a cross-play shooter where one platform has an FOV slider and the other one doesn't? An FOV slider doesn't just make the game feel faster, less cramped, or cooler. It genuinely just allows you to see your surroundings. They spent so much time porting every weapon from Black Ops Cold War into Warzone. Balance be damned. They almost fucking destroyed Warzone with terrible weapon balance, because they had to import all of those weapons. That was a big priority. But Warzone couldn't get an FOV slider. Like, at least Warzone as a standalone battle royale should be able to have its FOV changed. Modern Warfare is a much prettier, more detailed game than Cold War. And the only thing holding it back is this arbitrary thing that they could easily implement at any time. I know, some of you are gonna say, I don't care about FOV, FPS, or resolution, I just wanna have fun. Fine, then I'm sorry, respectfully click off the video, this isn't about you. I'm talking about making an optimal experience for people that enjoy your game. God forbid. This dates Modern Warfare. This makes Modern Warfare feel like a dated game, despite having such good detail and fidelity and interactability. it just lacks this core feature that's been in most other FPS games that I can think of for a while. This feature is even being retroactively added to Halo games that are older than some of my viewers. I can change my FOV in Halo 2. I cannot change it in Modern Warfare. And it's really weird. I don't know what misconceptions are out there, but last time I made a video about this, I got comments saying it causes graphical glitches and frame rate issues and consoles can't handle it. Bullshit. Ever since 2017, with the addition of the Xbox One X and PS4 Pro, developers have been pushing higher and higher resolutions with seemingly no issue. They gotta make sure Halo 3 runs at 4K 60. They gotta make sure that Infinite Warfare is an 1800p game versus a 1080p game. They had to make sure of that. That was very, very important because it looks nicer on your big TV. Do you know what else would look nicer on your big TV? An FOV that isn't squished to shit. When consoles are trying to push 4K textures and dynamic or native 4K resolutions, HDR, 60 FPS, don't tell me that it can't handle my FOV going up at least 15 degrees. Whoever told you that it's not possible lied to you. Lied right to your face. This conversation might have some sort of tension, maybe a little bit of back and forth, back during the start of the Xbox One PS4 lifecycle in 2013. Maybe we could have had an argument then. Then maybe there could have been a little bit of a contentious point during 2017 Xbox One X and PS4 Pro. We could maybe talk about the ramifications of an FOV slider and talk about dynamic resolution scaling. Now, with the PS5 and Xbox Series X, I never want to see a AAA shooter without an FOV slider again. And if you're going to allow Warzone to run at 120 FPS on an Xbox Series X, do not tell me I can't run an FOV slider at 60 FPS. Basically what I'm saying is, at the very least, next-gen players, PS5 Series X players, should have an FOV slider in Modern Warfare. There should be no argument about this. I know we get really upset about skill-based matchmaking, and I know there are lots of things in Cold War that people want changed, and I understand that. But this is an oversight that really bothers me because it's 110% unnecessary. It is not a complicated issue. There is no nuance here, okay? We don't need to be talking about different aspects of the game. This is not a discussion. We should just be requesting this feature for Modern Warfare. Add an FOV slider to Modern Warfare, Infinity Ward. For the love of God. It will take very little time to implement. Console players were already disadvantaged when going up against PC players, and this only adds to it. I know you want people to go buy Cold War, Activision. I know you want people to just jump ship from Modern Warfare. You really want to pretend Modern Warfare doesn't exist so that your current product can make its money back. Okay. But Warzone at least needs a goddamn FOV slider, at the very least. But of course, I will do another rant video if Infinity Ward adds an FOV slider to Warzone, but not MW's multiplayer. See you when I see ya. Goodbye.